Hello there, and welcome to Whispers to Sleep. My name is David, and I'm truly honored to be your guide tonight. Here we believe sleep is not just a routine. It's a gentle journey, a quiet return to peace every night. I craft stories with care, so your mind can rest and your body can soften all you need to do. Let go, take a slow deep breath in, and as you breathe out, allow the day to melt away. Close your eyes. Get cozy under the covers and let my voice lead you into calm, into comfort, into dreams. This is your time. Your memento. Truly relax. Let's begin. You stand at the edge of the forest, where the wind no longer rushes but slows, as if it knows it must move more gently here. A hush settles in your chest, soft as the moss beneath your feet. The trees do not speak in voices, and yet they welcome you. You take your first breath in this world, and the forest takes its breath too. Not together, not quite, but in rhythm, as if one breath cradles the other. Your lungs fill, not only with air but with memory, with something older than language. Something green and rooted dot. The canopy stretches overhead, filtering the moonlight into soft silver. Each leaf seems to tremble with purpose. There is no wind, just life, still yet moving, silent yet speaking. You walk deeper in, guided by the slow throb of the earth beneath you. Every step feels deliberate, every sound a whisper between living. Things dot the trees here are not just trees. They are the oldest keepers of time. They were here long before you, and they will remain long after. They do not rush. They do not worry. They inhale and exhale in cycles so slow that a human life passes like a sigh to them. You pause beside an ancient oak, its bark thick with lichen and patience. You press your hand to its surface, and beneath your fingers you imagine the movement of water, sap rising from roots to crown. It moves so slowly it would seem still to your eyes, but it moves all the same, carving upward in quiet persistence. And in this stillness, something unfolds, not outside you, but within. You remember that air is not just emptiness. It is made of tiny invisible particles, molecules, each one moving, bouncing, shifting. The air you breathe now has circled the globe. It has passed through leaves in distant jungles, through lungs in other lives, through the deep breath of a whale beneath the sea. And now it lives inside you. Carbon, oxygen, the elements of breathing. The forest is full of them. The leaves take in carbon dioxide, holding it like a secret. Then, with the help of sunlight, even when the sun is long gone, they spin it into something new, into sugars, into oxygen, into the breath you are taking now. It's called photosynthesis, but you don't need the word to feel it. You only need to stand still and breathe in, breathe out, as the forest does. And when you breathe out, the carbon you release becomes a gift, not waste, but nourishment, a cycle, a loop. You are not separate from the forest. You are a part of its rhythm. You walk a little farther. The ground is soft and damp. Beneath the surface, roots braid into one another like quiet conversations beneath your feet. You cannot hear them, but they are speaking, exchanging sugars, warning of droughts, sensing footsteps. A forest is not just a collection of trees. It is a community, and breath is its language. The moonlight glances off a fern, and you follow the light like a trail. A soft glowing shiver leads you into a clearing where the air changes. Here, the night feels denser, thicker, like something waiting to be heard. You sit on a stone and close your eyes. In the darkness behind your eyelids, you picture the forest breathing, not like lungs, but like tides. Each rise and fall of wind, each flutter of a leaf, each exhale of warm earth. You are caught in this wave, gently rocked by it. The science of breath becomes a lullaby. You remember that every cell in your body needs oxygen, that it travels through blood, through vessels, to the deepest parts of you. That the oxygen in your brain helps you think, and the oxygen in your muscles helps you move. And yet, when you're here, still, you don't need to think or move. You only need to be. You notice the coolness of the air as you inhale, the warmth of your breath as you release it. You picture the molecules dancing, bouncing off leaves, slipping into your lungs, exchanging places with others. Breath as dialogue, breath as connection. And suddenly, you realize you are not breathing the forest in. The forest is breathing with you. The stars appear slowly above the canopy. They do not demand attention. They simply shimmer, as leaves shimmer in patient rhythms. Some of the oxygen in this forest was made long ago when these trees were saplings. Some of the carbon in your body once lived in bark or root or leaf. Life is not a straight line. It is a cycle, a quiet one. The longer you stay, the more you sense it. The pulse, not your heartbeat, not the rustle of animals, but a deeper rhythm, something the forest holds but never shows. A rhythm of growth, of exchange, of giving and taking in balance. You sit in stillness and wonder how many things in your life happen without you noticing. How many exchanges go uncelebrated? You exhale. A tree inhales. A leaf trembles. A moonbeam lands softly on your shoulder. You are no longer a visitor. You are part of the story now. Your body knows this place. Your lungs remember dots somewhere nearby. A flicker of light appears, soft, golden, and impossibly small. It floats gently, like it has no weight at all. You blink slowly. The light pulses. Not fast. Just enough to remind you it is alive. You rise quietly. The light hovers, waiting dot, it seems to beckon. Not forward, not backward, but inward. You follow the shimmer, step by slow step, breathing with the forest, into the next question. What is the light that moves within you? The glow appears again, a gentle flicker, golden and weightless. It hovers above a patch of ferns, neither close nor far, simply waiting. You take a quiet breath, and it seems to respond, pulsing ever so slightly in the cool air. You follow. Without rushing, the forest has grown darker, yet nothing feels threatening. The night has a kind of hush that carries you along. Your steps are soft, your body loose. The trees seem to lean in, not to crowd you, but to guide you. The light ahead drifts, weaving gently through the branches. As you step beneath the canopy, the ground glows in unexpected places. Moss with a faint blue sheen, a mushroom cap that flickers like a quiet flame, the underbelly of a leaf tinged with soft emerald. This is no trick of your eyes. This is bioluminescence. Light, made by life, the glowing specks around you. Fireflies, fungi, even tiny plankton drifting in hidden puddles. They're not reflecting light. They're creating it. Not from bulbs, not from batteries, but from the deep work of biology. From chemistry older than bones. You pause beside a rotted log, now transformed by the faint shimmer of foxfire, a type of fungus that glows in the yaw. Dark, you crouch, watching how its glow doesn't blink or move. It just is, steady, alive. Its light is not for show. It's for function. It may be attracting insects, or warding off predators, or simply releasing energy in the only way. It knows how. And in that moment, something quiet stirs within you. You begin to wonder, is there light inside you too? The flicker ahead glows brighter, leading you now into a clearing where the fireflies gather. Dozens of them blink in strange coordination, each spark brief but meaningful. You sit beneath their dance, and slowly your breath settles into their rhythm. And then, softly, you remember. There is a light in you, not the kind that you can see in a mirror or feel on your skin, but something more delicate, more constant. Deep within your cells, there are tiny flickers happening all the time. Biophotons, they're called ultra-weak bursts of light emitted by living tissue. Science discovered them quietly. Each cell in your body, even the ones at rest, can emit light. These aren't flashes like lightning or sparks like flame. They are gentle, so faint that your eyes will never see them unaided. But they're real. You emit about 10 to 100 photons per second, per square centimeter. A whisper of light. Not random. Not meaningless. A kind of cellular communication. A pulse, a signature, a trace of something alive and aware. The fireflies blink again, and you picture your cells responding in kind, not with visible light, but with purpose. Mitochondria, the powerhouses inside your cells, don't just make energy. They may also make light. Your body glows, even in complete darkness. And this isn't just poetry. Studies have measured it. Your face, your hands, your chest, they emit tiny pulses. And though we don't fully understand why, we know this glow fluctuates with your circadian rhythm, your health, even your emotions. The light within you is not constant. It moves with your moods. You breathe slowly and wonder if, when you're calm, you glow a little brighter. The fireflies blink again, slowly now, as if they understand. The pixie glow hovers nearby, no longer leading, simply sharing space. You close your eyes and imagine light moving inside you. Not a spotlight, not a flame, but a shimmer, like moonlight on still water. A flicker in your chest when you feel joy. A glow in your fingers when you touch someone you love. A pulse in your forehead when you dream. You imagine your heart not only pumping blood, but vibrating slightly with the rhythm of that inner light. Light, you realize, is not just something you see. It's something you are. Even your skin, in its quietest moments, reflects photons from the sun and emits photons of its own. You are both mirror and lamp. The trees around you don't glow like you do, but they have their own kind of light. The chlorophyll in their leaves drinks sunlight, storing energy. During the day, this energy helps them spin carbon into sugar. And at night, some of that energy radiates outward, faintly, invisibly, in warmth and electrons and breath. You're not so different. You, too, are a solar creature. You eat what the sun has touched. You walk in sunlight, rest in moonlight, dream in starlight. Your bones carry calcium made by sun-fed plants. Your eyes evolved to seek light, to follow it, to worship it without knowing why. And even here, in the deepest dark, your cells remember. The pixie flicker rises again, spinning once, twice, before lowering itself onto a patch of moss that glows from within. You lie down nearby, the soft ground hugging your spine. You look up, and above you, stars blink in the sky, fireflies blink in the trees, and somewhere deep in your body, your own photons join the quiet chorus. You wonder how much of your sadness has simply been light forgotten. You wonder how much of your healing is light remembered. Perhaps that's what sleep is, a returning to your glow, a soft recharge, not just of muscle and mind, but of shimmer. The fireflies are fewer now. The pixie begins to rise again, floating toward the narrow path leading back into the woods. You rise, too, slower now, but lighter. As if you've remembered something ancient and true. As you walk, you begin to notice how your vision adapts to the dark. You no longer fear the shadows. You feel part of them. And in this slow rhythm of firefly and breath, shimmer and silence, a question begins to form inside you. If light lives within you, how does it move through time? The forest path softens beneath your steps, and somewhere ahead, you hear the faint hush of water, not crashing, not rushing, but sliding gently over stone. a sound like breath turned liquid. You follow without thinking, as though the rhythm pulls you. The pixie floats just ahead of you, her glow now steadier, softer, blending with the silver light of the stars above. Her wings flicker not in fluttering motion, but in pulses, slow, rhythmic, like a heartbeat that has nothing to prove. Soon, you arrive at the stream. It is narrow, but infinite in feeling. The water glides past with no urgency. You kneel beside it, resting your fingers near its edge. It feels cool without touching. The air shivers slightly, as if the water hums with a frequency just beyond your hearing. The stream doesn't count time in seconds or minutes. It knows no clocks. And yet, it holds time perfectly. You watch a single leaf drift by, caught in the current. You don't know where it came from, or how long it's been traveling. But here it is, floating, turning, moving with a grace that makes you pause. Time, the pixie seems to say without words, is not something you hold. It's something you float within. You lie back on the mossy bank and stare at the sky. The stars above twinkle, not because they change, but because the atmosphere shifts. Their light takes years, centuries, even, to reach your eyes. So, the stars you see now may no longer exist. You are not just looking into space. You are looking into the past. Even now, time is not a thing you see. It is a thing you feel. You place your hand gently on your chest. There it is, your pulse. Steady, measured, each beat a mark in the river. Each breath a stroke in the current. You begin to understand. Time lives inside your body. Your heart knows rhythm. Your lungs know cycles. Your cells follow circadian patterns, daily dances of light and dark, wake and sleep. You've always thought of time as lines and numbers, hours on a clock, dates on a calendar. But the forest teaches you that time is more like a stream, one that moves whether or not you look at it, one you can resist or join. A pixie floats down near the water, trailing a finger across its surface. Ripples move outward, small but certain. One ripple touches another. One moment touches the next. You think back to moments in your life, memories that felt eternal, and others that vanished too quickly. Time, you realize, doesn't always move at the same speed. Science has words for this: perception, relativity, attention. But your body understands it already. When you are anxious, time rushes. When you are calm, it stretches. You've felt. Hours vanish in joy, and seconds drag in sorrow. Time is not just what moves outside of you. It is shaped by your focus. It bends beneath your breath. You inhale slowly, and with that breath, the world grows softer. Your thoughts begin to untangle. Not gone, just slowed, like leaves swirling in eddies. And now you can watch them drift. By one at a time, the stream murmurs, the stars watch. And inside you, a clock you once obeyed loses meaning. You think of how your body keeps its own time. Every 24 hours, your brain releases melatonin, a chemical that tells you it's time to sleep. Your temperature rises and falls in rhythms. Even your hunger follows cycles. You are not a machine obeying a clock. You are an organism tuned to the planet, to the spin of the earth, to the angle of the sun, to the shadows of the moon. Your time is nature's time. And when you forget that, the world begins to race. But here, beside this river, you remember. The pixie hovers near your shoulder now, her light faintly pulsing with your breath. You wonder if time feels different to her. Do her wings beat faster than your heart? Does she live inside shorter moments, or stretch them like threads? Perhaps time is not the same for all creatures. Perhaps that's why a mayfly lives only a day, and a redwood stands for 1,000 years. Perhaps the experience of time is as personal as the rhythm of breath. You feel a breeze stir the leaves above you. The stream reflects the starlight like a memory made liquid. And for a moment, you sense the answer to a question you never thought to ask. You are not falling behind. You are not running out. You are not late or early or off track. You are simply floating in your own current at your own pace. Pixie rises again, drifting upstream now toward a path marked not by signs but by stillness. You rise slowly, your body light, your breath steady. The sound of the stream fades behind you, though its rhythm stays within you. You walk onward, wondering, if time flows through you so gently, what lies in the stillness beneath the mind? The path narrows, winding gently toward a hill veiled in shadow. The pixie's glow flickers ahead, softer now, not dimmer, but deeper, as if she's guiding you into a quieter layer of the world. You follow slowly, the air becoming cooler with every step. The trees hush behind you, and the sky fades into a pale blur above. At the base of the hill, the earth opens into a cave, not wide or dark or sharp, but soft, welcoming, like a breath held in stillness. You step inside. The walls are smooth, and rounded, the ground silken with dust. A soft, unseen glow pulses gently from the stone, faint blue like the edge of memory. The pixie drifts into the center of the space and hovers there, motionless. You sit on the ground and close your eye. Eyes dot, and then you begin to hear it dot not with your ears, but with something quieter inside you, a slow hum, like water moving through roots, like wind winding through thoughts you haven't had yet. This place, this cave, is your mind, or rather, the part you seldom meet, the part beneath the chatter, beneath the planning, beneath the worry and the words. This is your subconscious, a hidden layer like the roots of a vast tree. You can't always see it, but it shapes everything above. Just as roots hold the tree steady, the subconscious holds your waking thoughts, quietly, patiently, and always at work. You inhale. The air here smells like memory, a hint of paper, of rain, of something from childhood. Familiar and formless, you begin to realize most of what you do in your waking life isn't decided by conscious thought. Your heart beats without asking. Your lungs inhale and exhale on their own. Your fingers reach toward warmth. Your feet pause at the edge of a cliff, all without a single deliberate word. The cave pulses faintly, not with sound, but sensation. You remember the structure of the brain, the outer layers where logic and language live, and the deeper layers, the limbic system, the basal, ganglia, where emotion, instinct, and habits are born. These deeper places don't use words. They speak in feelings, images, and rhythms that your subconscious doesn't judge. It doesn't plan. It doesn't rush. It simply holds all your history, all your fears, all your hopes, and lets them drift slowly to the surface when you're ready. You imagine your thoughts now as mist rising from still water. Not sharp, not complete, just suggestions, possibilities. That you remember dreams, strange, vivid, sometimes nonsensical. They rise from this place, not random, but rearranged pieces of you. When you sleep, your subconscious sorts the day, tucking away memories, highlighting feelings you didn't have time to feel, replaying scenes to make sense of them. Even now, in this waking cave, your brain is doing that work, sorting, sifting, weaving. And you are only just beginning to notice. The pixie floats down beside you, settling near a faint ripple in the dust. You touch the ground, and an image flickers in your mind, not a memory, but something gentler, a sensation, a moment of being safe, of being seen. Perhaps the subconscious is where safety lives, not the kind we build with locks and alarms, but the kind we carry deep within, like a quiet room with no doors. This space inside you is where your creativity begins, where intuition whispers, where your sense of direction stirs before you choose a path, where empathy is born, not through logic, but through connection. You don't need to control it. You only need to listen. Science calls this part of the brain active even when you rest, a network known as the default mode. When your thoughts wander, when you daydream, when you simply sit in silence, this network lights up. It isn't nothing. It's the background of everything. You realize now, so much of your thinking is not chosen. It's felt. It's layered. It's prepared beneath the surface long before you speak it aloud, like a tree gathers water, deep below before a leaf ever trembles in the wind. You sit in this quiet cave, and you feel your thoughts soften. The noise fades, and in its place there's a steady presence, the part of you that doesn't rush to explain, the part that knows, without needing to say why. You begin to wonder, what else lives in the mind, beneath the mind? Perhaps that is where healing begins, where fears unravel in sleep, where music starts before it's hummed, where kindness is shaped before it's spoken. And so you sit, and you let yourself drift, not upward, but downward, deeper, slower. You are not lost here. You are home. This mind beneath your mind is not foreign. It is not wild. It is not broken. It is ancient, steady, and yours. You breathe in the stillness. The Pixie rises again, her glow reflecting the soft contours of the cave. No map needed. Only trust. You stand once more, feeling as if you've just woken up. But from inside, the cave narrows into a new passage now, not forward, but downward. Again, deeper into something even more rooted. The Pixie leads, and you follow, not with urgency, but with quiet wonder. You pause at the threshold of the next chamber, and a question floats gently through your calm, uncluttered thoughts. The mind holds so many silent stories. What do the plants remember in their stillness? The earth feels softer here, not just beneath your feet, but within your breath. The air is thick with green, the kind of green that feels ancient. You step beneath the dense canopy, and the Pixie floats lower, as if bowing to the quiet intelligence of this place. The trees here don't just stand, they listen. You pause, not because something commands you to, but because the stillness invites it. It's not the silence of absence. It's the silence of presence, deep, intentional, full. You sit at the base of a great tree, its bark warm, its roots reaching in every direction, like slow, thoughtful arms. The forest is dense, but not crowded. Every plant, every vine, every blade of grass seems to know its place. You close your eyes and breathe in. A leaf brushes your cheek, just barely, as if to say hello without words. And suddenly, you sense something profound. The plants are not decoration. They are not background. They are participants. You open your eyes and look again, not at the trees, but into them. And what you find is not just wood or leaf, but awareness. A kind you weren't taught to see. A kind that doesn't move fast, doesn't shout, doesn't chase, but still, deeply, undeniably, lives. The Pixie hovers near a small patch of clover, circling gently. You kneel beside her, and just beneath the surface, the soil shifts. Not because something crawls, but because something speaks. You imagine the roots below, entangled, pulsing, exchanging. Science once thought of plants as passive, but not anymore. Now we know they communicate through chemicals, through electric signals, through an underground network woven by fungi, a mycorrhizal web. It's often called the Wood Wide Web. Roots connected by fungal threads, sharing resources, warning of danger, sending nutrients to young saplings, even mourning their fallen. You imagine the roots beneath you, miles of unseen threads, passing silent messages. You place your palm on the earth. You don't hear words. You don't need to. There's a sensation, like vibration without sound. A thrum that reminds you of your own heartbeat. The Pixie leads you deeper into the forest, where the sunlight barely breaks through. But even here, under shadow, the plants thrive, not because of isolation, but because of connection. A stump, long thought dead, still pulses with life. Its neighbors feed it through shared roots, not out of instinct, but relationship. A forest is not a collection. It is a community. You sit beneath a willow, its leaves trembling with the breeze. You watch as it tilts toward the light. Slowly, precisely. Plants move, not on your schedule, but on theirs. Some even respond in real time. The mimosa pudica, the sensitive plant, folds its leaves when touched. A quiet defense. The sunflower turns its face with the day. Vines curl toward support. Seeds. Sleep for years, waiting for the right moment to begin. You realize now, plants are not slow. They are deliberate. Stillness, you learn, is not the absence of movement. It is the presence of patience, and in that patience there is wisdom. You lie back and stare at the canopy, thousands of leaves whispering with the wind. You imagine each one gathering sunlight, turning photons into sugar, a process you know by name, photosynthesis, but now understand with feeling. Sunlight becomes food, air becomes breath, energy becomes life. It happens in silence, in chloroplasts, in the green veins that lace every leaf. It happens in your lungs. The oxygen you breathe. It's a gift from plants. From forests, fields, oceans of algae. They breathe out what you breathe in. A constant exchange. A silent partnership. You and the leaf. The tree and your blood. Bound by breath. The Pixie perches on a blade of grass, glowing gently. You wonder if she speaks their language, not in words, but in presence. Perhaps that's what plants understand most, not conversation, but attention. You lean against a tree, and for a moment, you let go of all questions. You just listen. The air shifts. The light fades slowly, and still the forest remains, breathing, whispering, becoming. You think about how little noise plants make, yet how full of expression they are. How a single bloom opens not to impress, but to be. How a vine wraps without demand. How a tree shades without asking. Perhaps intelligence isn't always fast. Perhaps awareness doesn't always shout. You look at your hand, so used to moving, grabbing, building, and you imagine living another way. A way of rooting instead of rushing, of sensing instead of speaking, of growing without needing to go. The Pixie floats upward, circling the highest branch in the clearing. You follow with your eyes and feel the shift, a sudden breeze, a rustle in the highest leaves, and a thought. Not quite yours, if stillness holds such gentle wisdom. What might gravity whisper when it pulls you home? You step into a clearing where the ground seems to fall away beneath your feet. Not sharply, not with fear, but gently. Like a sigh. Like the earth releasing its hold on you. Just for a moment. And for the first time, you feel yourself float. The Pixie drifts ahead, her glow barely touching the air, like a thread of starlight unraveling. You follow, or rather, you let go, and rise. Your feet lift from the moss. Your arms loosen. Even your thoughts grow light. Weightlessness is not the absence of gravity, you realize. It is gravity's pause. A breath before the next pull. You hover between earth and sky, suspended in a slow exhale. Around you, leaves spiral, dust shimmers, and time feels stretched, not stopped, but softened. The Pixie turns midder and gestures downward. Not to fall, but to feel. And so, you let yourself be pulled again, slowly, steadily. INVISIBL. Why? Gravity welcomes you back. Not like a force, more like a story. You land softly. But the pull remains, not just on your body, but on your awareness that you sit and place your palm flat on the ground. The weight of your hand is gentle, but present. That pressure, that sensation, is gravity. Always there. Always holding. You close your eyes and begin to feel it everywhere. The press of your spine against the earth. The pull in your chest. As you breathe, the way your eyelids rest so naturally over your gaze. Gravity isn't loud. It never shouts. It doesn't need to dot. It holds oceans to the earth. Keeps air wrapped around your skin. Tugs rain from clouds. Keeps your heartbeat in rhythm with your steps. It is the narrator of your body. The silent scribe that writes your movements, your posture, your fall and your rise. The pixie floats upward again, higher this time. You follow with your eyes as she circles slowly, and above her, you see the sky stretch wide, curving softly, endlessly. You remember that gravity shapes not just bodies, but planets. The earth, round not by coincidence, but by the steady hand of gravity. Mountains rise, but even they are pulled home. The moon stays near, its dance around you choreographed by gravity's pull. The tides move in answer to that pull, water rising and falling like breath. And beyond this forest, beyond the sky, stars swirl in galaxies, bound together, not by ropes or rails, but by gravity. Invisible threads of belonging. You are not separate from this. The same force that holds moons in orbit also holds you to this ground. The same force that collapses stars into supernovas is the one that keeps your feet rooted, your bones aligned, your center steady. You think of the word gravity now, how we use it not just to describe physics, but emotion. A grave moment, a gravitational pull, the weight of something meaningful, perhaps because deep down we understand. Gravity is not a burden. It is belonging. You walk again, slowly now, aware of the soft resistance under each step. Every movement you make is shaped by gravity, your muscles working gently against it, your body adapting in response. Astronauts who spend time without gravity speak of how strange it is to return, how the body rejoices in weight again, how walking, sitting, and even standing become small celebrations of connection. You reach a small rise and sit again, gazing over the forest. The trees lean ever so slightly uphill, growing not away from gravity, but in dance with it. The roots push downward. The branches stretch upward. Gravity is their partner, not their prison. The pixie hovers beside you, silent, and you begin to wonder, is gravity not just a force, but a story? It is the story of how things come together, of how chaos becomes orbit, of how you don't fly apart, but stay whole, even inside your body. Gravity matters. Your blood moves downward, yes, but also loops and flows and returns. Your balance, your sense of up and down, your inner compass, all written by gravity's ink. Without it, bones weaken, muscles drift. The body forgets how to be held. But here on this earth, you are never forgotten. You are always held. You lie back, and the ground cradles you. The pressure beneath your back reminds you, you belong to this place, to this planet, to this force that never leaves. You watch the stars emerge above, flickering in distant skies, each one bound in place, held in its own gravitational web. You, too, are part of that web. The atoms in your body were once inside stars, and now they are inside you, held gently by the same force that once lit galaxies. Gravity is not the weight that presses. It is the bond that connects. You are not falling. You are floating within a story that has always known your name. The pixie dips lower now, her light brushing the tops of the grass. She pauses for a moment, as if listening, then turns. The air cools slightly, and you wonder, if gravity writes the structure of the universe, what kind of world awaits you in the Hush of sleep. The forest begins to blur around you, not vanishing, just softening. Edges melt into shadows. Sounds stretch like whispers underwater. You feel your body going lighter, not floating, but settling into a gentler rhythm. The pixie hovers just beside your shoulder, her light dim to a soft pulse. A signal, perhaps, that it's time to go somewhere deeper. You lie down on a bed of moss. It receives you without effort. No resistance, no tension. Your arms fall to your sides. Your breath slows. The canopy above seems to dissolve into a soft, deep blue, not sky, but a veil between one world and the next. Sleep is near, but not as an ending, not as a door. You've always thought of sleep as shutting down, like turning off a light. But what if it's a beginning, a journey inward, a second world, waiting just beneath the surface? The pixie drifts upward and disappears into a shimmer. And you follow, not with steps, but with awareness. You are still lying down, but something inside you begins to move, slowly, like drifting on waves made of thought. This is sleep, not unconsciousness, but a new kind of consciousness. Your body stays behind, quiet and safe, but your mind, it begins to explore. You drift into the first stage, where wakefulness and sleep meet, a liminal space. Thoughts wander in strange patterns. Shapes form and dissolve. It's called N1 sleep, and it's like dipping your toes into the tide. You feel your muscles twitch once, a startle. Your body asking, "Are we still here?" You answer not with words, but with stillness. And so it lets go. You slip deeper. N2, a light sleep, but real now. Your heartbeat slows. Your temperature drops. Your brain begins sending out rhythmic bursts of activity. Sleep spindles, scientists call them. Tiny flares in the dark, like fireflies in a forest of neurons. These pulses may help lock in memories, help calm the senses, help you begin the work of being restored. Because yes, sleep is work. While you rest, your brain clears out waste, proteins, fragments, stray signals. It's called glymphatic clearance, a cleanup crew of fluid that moves through your brain's highways while you sleep. You didn't know your brain washed itself, but it does gently, nightly, if you let it. And so, you drift further. N3, deep sleep. This is where your body begins its most sacred labor. Tissues repair, cells regenerate, immune defenses grow stronger, muscles rebuild, growth hormone is released. Here, not just for children, but for all bodies that seek to heal. You breathe slow and full. There is no need to move. The forest is gone now, replaced by a dream of stillness. But still, one more layer remains. The pixie reappears. She glides across your vision, and the dream begins. REM, rapid eye movement, the most mysterious of sleep's chapters. Your brain lights up. Your heart rate rises. Your breathing shifts. And though your body lies motionless, your mind begins to travel. Here, in this stage, you dream. Not always with stories or sense. Sometimes only fragments. Sometimes whole worlds, but always from you. And through you. Scientists know the brain becomes active in REM, sometimes as active as when you are awake. But here it plays, rehearses, sorts. Emotions are processed. Memories are rewoven. Traumas are softened. Futures are imagined. You've solved problems in dreams before. You've woken with clarity, with music in your head, with words on your tongue. It wasn't coincidence. Your dreaming brain was still working, quietly, wisely, without noise. The pixie drifts through a stream of memory. You recognize an image from years ago, a sound you had forgotten, a person you once knew. They appear not to haunt you, but to be witnessed, to be understood. Dreams don't always tell stories, but they always carry meaning. You shift gently in your sleep, your body sensing the change in cycles, because sleep is not one straight descent. It's a spiral. You rise and fall through these stages again and again through the night. Each cycle about 90 minutes long, 4 to 6 rotations if your night is kind. And each time you return to REM, your dreams grow deeper, more vivid, more like sky. The pixie sits now on a branch in this dream space. You watch from a distance. You realize something important. Sleep is not an escape from reality. It's an entrance into another kind of reality, one where your body repairs, your mind reorders, and your spirit can float. Insomnia, then, isn't just restlessness. It's the ache to return to this sacred cycle, to this tide of letting go. You place your hand on your chest, even in sleep. It moves, steady, rhythmic. This is sleep's lullaby, a song your body sings even when you do not hear it. The pixie lifts off once more, fading into a shimmer of stars. And you begin to drift back, not to wakefulness, not yet, but to a place just beyond the dream. You feel your breath deepen. You sense your body again, grounded and light, but part of you still floats, not asleep, not awake, just resting. Held. You understand now. Sleep is not nothing, that it is the hidden half of your being, the half that heals, the half that dreams. Half that remembers what you've forgotten during the noise of day. And so, you lie there, inside this second world, and a question rises, soft, luminous. If so much happens while you sleep, what else is unfolding within your body? In the cells, the blood, the unseen dance of life beneath your skin, the forest, the stars, the sounds, they all seem to melt away, replaced by a warmth that begins in your chest and spreads outward. The pixie hovers near, then drifts gently toward your skin. Her glow dims, but her direction is clear. In this moment, you are invited inward. You close your eyes, and with one long, slow breath, you begin to shrink, not in body, but in awareness. You don't fall or fly. You simply arrive. Deeper. You are inside yourself now. Inside the soft rhythm of your being. At first, there is only stillness, warm, fluid, safe. Then, movement. Tiny pulses, glows that flicker like lanterns in a mist. You begin to see them. Cells, countless, shimmering, alive. You are made of trillions of them, each one with its own work, its own rhythm, its own reason. And yet, they do not act alone. They are a community, a universe within you, and you are their sky. You drift beside a red blood cell, smooth, soft, like a gentle coin moving through. A quiet stream. It carries oxygen, the very breath you took a moment ago, from your lungs to every corner of your body. You follow it as it weaves through narrow channels, delivering its gift, then returning for more. This is your circulatory system, a river of life, flowing without pause. And around it, more life moves. White blood cells patrol like quiet guardians, watching, sensing, defending. They are part of your immune system, an ancient intelligence that protects without praise. You feel awe because you didn't command them. You didn't ask them to serve. They do it anyway, all day, all night, in loyalty to you. Nearby, in a soft chamber of light, other cells divide, slowly, precisely. One becomes two become four. This is not chaos. This is design. Every second, your body makes new cells. Old ones are replaced. Tissues repair. You are being rebuilt, even now. As you rest, the pixie floats downward toward a glowing spiral, a strand of DNA coiling like ribbon in the dark. You approach, gently. DNA, the storybook of your body, 3 billion letters long. Every cell reads it, but not all read the same parts. A skin cell reads different pages than a brain cell. A liver cell reads a different chapter than your muscles, but the book is the same. It is you, and it is written in light. You float into the heart of a cell where the mitochondria glow like tiny suns. These are your powerhouses, turning sugar into energy. They hum with purpose. They fuel your every breath, every blink, every beat dot, and once long ago, they were separate. Mitochondria were once free-living organisms, billions of years ago. They joined with early cells, not through conquest, but cooperation. And together, they created complex life. Even your own body is a product of connection. You drift farther and see the neurons, long, spindled cells that reach for one another across tiny gaps. They speak in sparks, tiny flashes of electricity jumping from cell to cell, thought to thought. This is how you think, how you feel, how you remember a face, how you dream. A thought forms, not from nowhere, but from here. From this flicker, this dance. The pixie drifts beside you, silent. You watch the cells move, repair, communicate. You see chemical messengers, hormones, being released into the bloodstream. Instructions delivered across great distances. Grow, rest, heal, feel. Realize your emotions are not only felt in your mind. They are carried in molecules. They change your body. Cortisol when you are stressed. Oxytocin when you are loved. Dopamine when you are rewarded. Melatonin when it's time to sleep. You are not a mind in a shell. You are an orchestra, a symphony of cells. And every note plays in time with the others. You drift into your gut, a place often forgotten, and find another world. Microbes, tiny creatures, bacteria, fungi, living in harmony inside you. There are more of them than your own human cells. They help you digest. They produce vitamins. They shape your mood. They are not foreign. They are family. You are not alone, even in yourself. The pixie floats near your chest now, resting beside the slow, steady beat of your heart. You feel it, not just as a rhythm, but as a message. With every beat, your cells receive what they need. With every beat, the dance continues. You begin to rise now, not away from your body, but into it, returning from the cellular to the whole. You feel your skin again, your breath, the gravity that holds you, and you realize you are not a single thing. You are many, and yet you are one. An entire world, quietly alive. You lie still in the forest, clearing once again. But everything has changed, because now you know, even in sleep, even in stillness, your body moves. It heals. It speaks. It listens. And perhaps the stars that shine above you are not so different from the sparks that fire within. The pixie lifts gently, her glow tinged with something new, a kind of reverence. And you wonder if your body is made of stars and cells. What might lie beneath your feet, in the soil, in the stone, in the stardust, still singing from the earth? The ground beneath you feels different now, not just solid, but sacred. You rest your palms on the earth, sensing its quiet warmth. The moss beneath your skin feels older than the trees above you. And in the hush of this moment, something stirs beneath the soil. The pixie hovers low now, her golden glow trailing just above the forest floor. Her light dances across pebbles, roots, and earth, as if trying to reveal a secret hiding just beneath the surface. You follow her gaze, and you begin to see it too. The soil is not just dirt. It is memory. It is matter. It is origin. You lower yourself closer, pressing your ear gently to the ground, not to hear footsteps, but to feel the hum, soft, steady, constant. There is life here, but also something older than life. The minerals in this soil are not born here. They are remnants, echoes of a sky long gone. You reach out and lift a small stone. It feels cool in your hand, ordinary, but within it, iron, carbon, calcium, magnesium, the very elements that live inside you. And here is the secret. Those elements were not made on Earth. They were made in stars long ago, before this forest, before this planet, before even time as you know it. Stars were born in cosmic clouds of gas and dust. They burned bright, fusing hydrogen into helium, and then into heavier elements. In their final breaths, some exploded, supernova, scattering those elements across the universe. Iron from a dying star now rests in your blood. Calcium from a stellar burst supports your bones. Carbon, once part of a galaxy's heart, forms the fabric of your cells. You are not only of the Earth, you are of the stars. The Pixie circles your hand, where the stone rests quietly. You look at it again, and now you see constellations in its surface, tiny specks, crystalline veins, patterns that feel both random and divine. And then you realize the soil beneath you is cosmic dust, held together by gravity, shaped by time and kissed by sunlight, not the same sunlight that feeds the trees, the same dust that builds your bones, the same minerals that pulse through the plants and creatures around you. There is no border between body and earth. When you eat, you consume the minerals of soil. When you breathe, you inhale particles carried by the wind. When you sleep, your body presses into stardust. Your connection is not poetic metaphor. It is physical, real, continuous. The earth doesn't just support you, it is you. You sit now with a deeper reverence. The ground is no longer beneath you. It is part of you. Even the act of standing, of walking, of growing, it all depends on what lives in the soil. Roots draw minerals upward. Animals eat the plants. You eat the food grown from earth, absorbing iron, zinc, potassium. The food chain is a stardust cycle, and inside you, the elements move in harmony. Iron carries oxygen. Magnesium helps your muscles. Phosphorus strengthens your teeth. Calcium beats in time with your heart, each one forged in stars, each one resting in soil, each one flowing in you. You feel the weight of your body now, not as burden, but as connection, as gravity's reminder that you belong here, that your atoms remember the stars and the soil, that every part of you has traveled through galaxies. To arrive in this moment, the Pixie lands gently beside a patch of glowing fungi. The light is faint but steady, like a memory glowing softly at the back of your mind. You dig gently with your fingers, uncovering a layer of rich, dark earth. It crumbles easily, fragrant with decay and renewal. Dead leaves, crushed shells, roots, ash, rain, time, and yet nothing is ever truly lost. Everything returns. The tree that falls becomes food for the soil. The leaf that drops becomes shelter for the seed. The body that rests becomes the beginning again. You, too, will one day return, but not in sadness, in continuation, in completion, because the stars do not mourn when they burn out. They give everything they have, and in doing so, they give life to worlds like this one. And maybe that is the quiet lesson buried in the soil. You are part of a story, far older than yourself. A story written in starlight and scattered across space. A story that continues, even as you sleep, even as you breathe. You press your hand to the earth once more. It feels like home, not just under your body, but in your body. And you wonder, if you are made of stars and rooted in soil, if your very being is a blend of cosmos and earth, then what else might be dreaming inside you? The Pixie lifts again, her glow flickering softly against your skin. You rise slowly, brushing your hands together, watching the fine grains of dirt fall through your fingers like stardust returning to the wind. Above you, the sky deepens. A canvas of galaxies too far to see. Yet somehow, You already carry them all within. And in the quiet of that knowing, you feel something stir, a question, gentle and glowing. If the soil remembers the stars, what does the night remember in? Return? The night is still, wrapped in velvet. The forest hums low and slow, like a lullaby finishing its final verse. You lie quiet, a moss beneath you molded to your shape, as if the earth remembers how you've rested here before. Above you, the sky stretches wide, not empty, but complete. Not silent, but listening. The Pixie floats just above your chest, her glow now faint, more memory than light. She circles once, twice, and then, like mist in moonlight, she disappears. Into the air, there is no farewell, only stillness. And still, you are not alone, because you've never really been alone. The stars that watched you are still watching. The soil that held you is still holding. And within you, something gentle continues to move. A rhythm, a pulse, a whisper of awareness. Like a candle still burning in the quiet corners of a dream, you are not asleep. You are not awake. You are somewhere in between, and in that space, something extraordinary unfolds. You begin to notice that the dream hasn't ended. In fact, it has widened, softened, merged with you, because the dream was never something you entered. It was something you are, the dream that carried you through the stars, the roots, the rivers. That dream was you, not separate, not foreign. It was your body remembering its language. It was your mind sinking into its natural rhythm. It was your soul returning to its own arms. You feel your breath, gentle, steady, quiet, in, out, like waves against the shore. You realize that breathing is dreaming in motion, that every inhale carries in not just air, but softness, and every exhale releases not just carbon, but weight. All night, your body has been dreaming itself, healing itself, listening inward, without words. Science calls it the default mode network, the inner orchestra that plays when the outside world grows quiet. It activates when your mind drifts, when you reflect, when you imagine, when you wander inward. It is always there, waiting, like a second consciousness, the part of you that dreams not only while asleep, but even as you move through waking life. You think of all the places you've traveled tonight, across time, through the forest, into the braying, beneath the soil, among the stars. And yet, you never moved. You were still, and in stillness you expanded. The forest you walked through, it was made of neurons. The river of time, it was your own pulse. The roots and whispers, they were your quiet thoughts taking shape. Every chapter, every moment, a reflection of what already lives inside you. You didn't visit a dream. You became it. And now, as the dream softens again into silence, you don't feel like you're waking. You feel like you're remembering that you are more than what you see, more than the shape you carry in daylight. You are a collection of stories written in molecules, light and memory. You are the observer and the observed. You are the dreamer and the dream. A breeze brushes your cheek, not cold, but clarifying. It reminds you that the body is waking now, gently, not fully, not yet, but rising like sunlight behind the mountains. You stretch a little, only in your thoughts, and notice how even motion feels. Dreamlike now. You think of how the brain works during this return, how the prefrontal cortex slowly resumes its role, sorting real from imagined, forming sentences, remembering tasks. But none of that rushes in. Not yet, because something deeper still lingers. A sense that even in waking, there is a part of you that always stays asleep, always dreaming, always watching the stars behind your eyes. You begin to understand. You don't leave the dream behind when you rise. You carry it with you. You always have. The body knows this. The breath knows this. Even your heartbeat hums with this truth. You recall the phrase, lucid dreaming, when one becomes aware inside the dream. But perhaps there is something even gentler, lucid being, a soft awareness that you are dreaming even now. That life itself is a kind of dream, not illusion, but expression, a dance of particles, a ballet of atoms and emotion. Every face you love, every sound you remember, every color that moves you, all of it, stardust becoming storied out. The Pixie's glow returns, far above you now, no longer a guide, but a star. You watch her fade into the sky, not with loss, but with wonder. And as she disappears, you feel the full weight of stillness. Not heavy, sacred, because this is where the dream leaves its final gift. You are not just part of the world. The world is part of you. Every tree you passed, you carry its breath. Every river you watched, you echo its flow. Every spark of light, it flickers in your blood. You inhale, and the dream breathes with you. You exhale, and the world continues to turn dot, and now a new thought rises, soft, luminous, unfolding in the space between waking and sleep. If the dream was always inside you, what might happen when you learn to dream the world awake? And now, as our story gently fades, I want to thank you from the bottom of my heart for spending this moment with me. Your presence here means the world, and your support helps me create even more peaceful journeys. Just for you. If this helped you rest, please consider liking, subscribing, or simply coming back tomorrow night. Until then, stay cozy, stay kind, and may your dreams tonight be soft, serene, and full of wonder. Good night, my friend. With warmth, David.